Mindful Moodling will be... Hi everybody, hope you're all well. Mindful Moodling will be starting in a few minutes. Well, you know how early I am. Anyway, just bear with me, the video's about to start soon. Thanks, bye. Hello! I've not been here for ages. So, I don't know if anybody knows, if anyone's going to pop in and see me. You know, I could do, could not. I know it's a really tricky time of the day and a really tricky time because people are working. And yeah, we're getting back to some sort of normality, I think. So, yeah, it looks like a hodgepodge of things here. So I'm just going to show you, but I've got a really good one set up for Friday that will sort of work along with it. So I'm just putting on here a load of the stuff I'm going to use. It's going to be quite simple today, so that when I do a project with this for my Patreons, we're going to move it even further into a piece of artwork, which I'm really looking forward to, because it's going to be 3D, 2D, 3D, and it's going to be based. So each month, you're going to have a drawing that I'm going to do live, but then I'm going to take it into 3-dimensional. It could be anything, stitching, anything. And I will introduce a new little idea we've got from the lovely Rachel. We were discussing it yesterday, and it was something I did many, many years ago in school. And she mentioned it, and then I mentioned a documentary I was watching, and it was like, whoa, fate. And that's where you participate with me in my art, which is so cool. And you heard it here. Anyway, hello. Oh, there's people here. Hello, people. Sorry. Hello, let's see. I've got Facebook user. Hello. Oh, Linda, my lovely. It's so good to have you. I do think the world of you. You're fantastic, Linda. You're very supportive of all your family and everybody. You're a lovely girl. Hello, Pam. Pam, the lovely Pam. And then, of course, we've got who else but Jenny. Artistic. She'll take this to the next level when she does hers. And Ellen, I've been looking at your crochet. It's getting really wow, it's wonderful. You're doing really well. Then hello, Facebook user. Hello, Facebook user. Hiya. Hello. Oh, thank you. And thank you. I don't know how many people we're going to have today. Like I say, midweek. You're working 12 o'clock. It's like, when's the worst time you could do it? Now. So, yeah, I actually watched some lives the other day, and it was really good. I saw Jill Humphries, and that was really, really nice to see. Different to what I do. So I really enjoyed that, because you've got to make sure that you're not stuck in a rut and, just doing what you think is safe. Oh, my favourite pencil. I can't even sharpen it anymore. I get it lost in the thing. Oh, oh, we've got some more people. Hello. Hi, Karen. How are you? Oh, it's lovely to see people. So we've got some people who are on different, some are on YouTube, some are in other places and stuff. So anyway, let's get going. Right, what I'm going to do is, this month has been a bit crazy because I've had my civil services. I don't know why I keep sounding like Cookie Monster. I don't know. It's because I'm excited. And I want to show you that we're going to do a project which I'm really looking forward to. Ooh, really looking forward to it. And I did some. These are the previous ones I've done on grey. But if you haven't got a grey book, don't worry. Oh, on the telly box. We've done your comments. Just put your name at the end of it. It's easier. Oh, look, forgot I've done these. Oh, these was me practicing. Be ready to start. What do you mean, be ready to start? It makes me laugh when they come up with reminders like that. I'm already started. Anyway, so I've got my grey book, but I might not be using that today. And I've got my frame and a frame. So I've got a frame and a frame. Now, these are ones that I use on the telly. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great, Linda. Yeah, I know. That'd be fantastic. Right, these are my sort of ones that I bring with you onto the telly box. And these are the, as you can see, a little bit past the sell-by date, but they're really useful. Hi, Trisha. Hi, Michelle. Stop it with this. It's shouting like a plonker. So I've got this. See, I'm determined to use my pencil, aren't I? You are not getting the better of me. Oh, don't tell me the camera's going to be all thingamajig. Oh, here we go. Oh, I think it's old like me, because it's old. It's taking its time. I'm going to bring it down a little bit so it's got less. I don't want you to look at my nails anyway, because I've been painting with inks. Oh, the frames. Hello, Jackie. The frames are from IKEA. They're only a couple of quid. So I can start now. So this is the insert for the square. Now, on the page, you'll see I've added some information for you. And the information is really important because that shows you the pens we're going to be using that you can use on this one, but it'll or the next one or the Patreon ones. So if I just show you that fits inside there, and I can use these to frame stuff. So the next one, I'm just going to get my Fabriano. Now the next one will be a black page, which will be amazing. So I'm just, because this is going in that frame, and I'm just going to do this. Okay, now try not to touch your watercolor paper if you're going to use it for watercolor, because it gets a little bit damaged. So I've got the outline of that, and I'm just thinking now, could I make another outline? So I'm just thinking that would go in there quite well, but it's hard to see. So that's perfect. Oh, it's a bit monkey now, isn't it? So I'm just going to draw around that. So what I've actually done here is I've created the outer frame for my picture frame, and then I've done the inner frame, and all that will what that'll help me to do. Let me get your name off, Karen. It's otherwise the whole afternoon you're going to be there. Baby minding, yeah, baby minding. You think you get rid of all that when you're older, don't you? You think, oh, I don't have that now, but you blooming do. So I've got this here, and I'm going to be doing a couple, I think, but I'm just going to do a really pretty one for the time being. Now I've used a heavy pencil simply because the heavy pencil does really help me to put lines on for you, so you can see. Otherwise, forget it. You know, it's like looking at white paper. So what I'm going to do is just chop this up. Right, where's that? I've been tidying up, can't you tell? Why did I tidy up again? Right, all I'm going to do is chop down a couple of these. Now, I always like threes, and if I was to buy these, which I do buy, I buy in threes, so that what I get is like a trilogy or a triptych. So if I was a bit careful and get that right, I probably get two of them. But don't be tight with your watercolor paper like me, because let's face it, you can't take anything with you. Get your best knickers out, get your best frocks out, get them on. I'm a sod for that. Anyway, I've cut my paper. I've cut it a little bit off, but I don't mind. I can readjust that. So keep that for your, that is so important because that's your colour swatches. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I will introduce you to my friend. My urchin. Now, this was bought legally, so I don't want anyone's coming at me and hate mail. And we're going to do this as a pattern. This is how I get my patterns, and this is how I put them on my work for you. And then everyone else, you know, can do their own thing, but my patterns come from nature. You had your own patterns, but then I don't think you can beat nature. It's absolutely amazing anyway. So perfection is already done for you, really, isn't it? So if I look at them, I'll try and get it close enough but far enough. Sorry, fingers are terrible with ink. Can you see all these wonderful patterns? It's amazing, isn't it? So we're going to look at this, but what we're going to do is interpret it on our. Now we could use this in colour, watercolour, or anything, but you just look for a direction. So I've got enough room to do two, so I'll do two if I can. So I'm looking at this shape here, and I'm liking it to that there. Okay. Now, if you want me to, hiya Jane. Hey, it's me mate. I'm around today. I was going to go for a walk, but I can go for a walk. I can come and see you if you want. Right, so here's the inside. So it's not quite hitting this, but if you wanted to sort of mount this up onto black and white, it would look quite nice. And if you want a picture of an urchin, I will put a picture on of this so you can copy it. So I'm just looking at the lines in this now, and we're going to go to something that looks quite similar. Not the same, quite similar. We've got some lovely lines here. So I'm just going to do some little lines. Follow mine if you want. Follow mine. Sorry, I'm near the mic. I'm screaming my head off. So, what I'm looking at now, they look like nipples. I know. Get yourself comfy. I'm drawing side on, so it's not good for you. But it's because I'm sitting on my leg, my sore leg. Believe it or not, I sit cross-legged this year. I've not been able to do it for months, weeks, but now I can do it. So I'm looking at this, and I'm just thinking, it sort of goes. If I just sort of go like that, can you see? Oh, brilliant, Jane. Give him your love. That picture was great. Tell him he needs to put weight on. Telling him. So I'm looking at this. This would be a great stamp. So I'm just from here now. I'm just going to go. Doesn't have to be perfect. There's no perfection apart from nature. Right, like that. It doesn't look anything like it, does it? I know it doesn't. But here we've got the corresponding one where it's in between. So I need to just so I'm looking at this and turn it round. That's better. That's better. I'm getting that shape now. It looks like, do you remember Batman? But it's just the shape now to get it, you know, where I want it. So you could do it with a pea pod. You could do it with anything. and we're just going to follow the lines. Now I'll take a picture of this. But I bought this many years ago, and I took them in school, and a couple of them got nicked, and a couple of them got smashed. But that's life, isn't it? But you can see how it sort of starts with this one, and they're very 3D. They're like nipples. They're beautiful, and then, but they are legal. They are legal. So anyway, let's get back to this. So I've got that. I'm drawing side on because that's how I want it. So now what I'm going to do is just put in sort of lozenges. And this completely gets rid of everything I did before. But it gives me an idea, can you see now, of there we go, this one's a little bit better. So we've got our lines. Some are bigger than others, that makes sense. Some are bigger than them. And then what we've got is an interesting, like, consecutive circles. And they're actually really like circles, So my advice is, if you've got one, get yourself, so you can understand that the Patreons who are going to be doing this next 3D, where it will be going from there. So yeah, I put these on my Facebook, not my Facebook, I do apologise. My dingy, what's it called? Amazon page. They're on there. So let's have a look at concentric circles. They look to be mainly in the middle and quite small. So I'll look at maybe the biggest one being, does it touch the side? Yes. So that touches the side. That's perfect for that. And it's in the middle. So I reckon the biggest ones, like that. So the next one's a little bit smaller. No, you see, that's big as well. So let's go for big. The next one's a bit smaller. And then the next one's smaller than that. Perfect. Looks like a caterpillar. Oh, you're looking forward to it, Pab? Yeah, I am. It's great, isn't it? We're going to do this 3D with all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, and the other one is, I'm going to start a piece of work, and then what I'm going to do is cut it into 12 pieces, and then 12 people do one piece of it each. And I'm going to be running that in the group. So hopefully people will love the idea of being able to do it. So it's got, we're not going to try and do it 3D because that would be too much. So it's got another one with a very small one in the middle. So if we get the very small one in the middle and have them all the same smallnesses, I don't think that is a word, smallnesses, but they all seem to be quite similar in size, don't they? Yeah, so the idea was, years ago I did one where I did a big picture of Underwasser, and I cut it up, and each child did their own piece to it, and it was amazing. It was wonderful. And then we put it all back together, and then as a little schools exhibition for the exam board, we did where we hooked it all together, and we hooked it with links, and it was amazing, and it was like a big quilt. And History then, they took it and showed how chainmail was made. It was really good because the whole school got involved. So here, I'm thinking I'm just going to bring that in a little bit more and bring that in a bit. Only because it didn't sit right for me. Right, okay, so we've got that, and now we put our middle ones in. So this is where it'll change a bit. The very big ones will probably have that one. Oh, that one. Let's see what this is like. Yeah. Oh, let me tell you what I've been doing. Oh, when I broke my foot, ankle, whatever it is, distal G6. No, that's not it, is it? Distal? No, it won't be distal G6. Uh, distal fibula. That's the one. Fibula. Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway. When I broke my ankle, I didn't realise that having so little use of it, it would wither a bit. And it weren't a lot. I know, it weren't a lot but I didn't realise how much strength I'd lost. So what I've been doing is when I was on civil service, I walked there and back every day without my boot. And I managed to get up to 2.5 miles, which is not a lot, I know, to some, and it's a massive amount to others. And then as progressively as I've been at home, I've managed to do a mile, never lower than a mile, and I'm up to 3.5 now. And I'm doing that every day, and I love it because I take my book out with my camera out. I listen to a book. I'm listening to Colour, the story of Colour, which is an amazing book, and it's all sort of it goes in because it's interesting. It's not like too scientific where it falls the life out of you. It's actually really informative. And you think, oh yeah, I get it now, I get it. And you're like, why didn't I think that before? Because it didn't make sense to you before, but it does now. So I've been doing that and I'm loving it. Loving it. I love being out. I love the fact that I wasn't able to use my leg and walk, and now I can. And it was just like, we take things for granted, don't we? Sorry, the screws come out of the chair. I've just nearly fallen off it. Right. So I'm going to take time. I'm looking at this now, how beautiful it is. And I'm going to go with it with a pen. So don't forget, we've got a frame, and I'm using a very thin one, a 0.05, 0.03. Okay. And I'm not too worried about it. I've got this to keep in front of me as a reference. It's not perfect. I don't care. So here, take your time, breathe in, breathe in, and out. So our two lines now have given us the definition of it, the outline. Thank you. Oh, you are lovely, Pam. Now I'm going to draw the basic outline. Ooh. You don't need to add that stupid noise. So I know I've got a gap here, but we've got like little bits round it. So, it's something you've got to think about. Oh, I don't like that bit there, but don't worry. You know what we're like. We'll sort that out in the wink of an eye. So I've done that little one there just to stop it annoying me, because it will. And although I've done circles with a thing, a stencil, that doesn't really matter to me because I'm quite happy to do it without. So I'll match this up with a big one here. I might make that a bit bigger. Yeah, that's better. And this is a big one as well. So if you can get a chance to watch a documentary called Paper and Glue, it's amazing. It's amazing. The power of art. It's just crazy, but amazing. So here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do any other lines I need to. I'm unsure whether I want to finish the lines here, but we'll see. Don't move that one. I'll move this a bit bigger. Sorry, it looks a bit out of focus. It's because you've got all these other lines on it. That's what I was saying. Yeah, the documentary's amazing. Paper and Glue. I've been watching a lot of documentaries on documentaries on Netflix, and it's amazing how many nowadays are like films, just stunning the way that they're produced and everything. You're like, wow. But the main thing is, they're just so interesting. So I've got that pattern, and it's not perfect, and I don't want it to be. I have got a line all the way around, which I can, if I wish. I can, if I want to, put it back in, or I can leave it. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'll get my dooper again. Now, I can leave that clean space round it, or I can draw it on. So what I mean is, if I wanted to, I could make that into, say, a dotted line. It does look a little bit lost at the moment. So I'll just, for the time being, I'll just put the mark back on with a pencil. Oh, you bum. Right, doesn't matter. So can you see now? I'll put the doofer on. So it's now got that line around it, which you could use a mat. Oh, thank you. Oh, Pat. Oh, I don't know what that is, and I feel very ignorant, but I do hope it's something that we can help you through. So I'm just going to rub out these lines. I feel very bad when I say stuff because there's always someone in there who's got problems, but the problem is they're not your problems, are they? And you can only assess yours. It's like when someone says, I know how you feel, do they? Do they really? Right, let's have a quick look at this. Okay, let's get to it. Right, I'm looking at some pattern formations I can see here. So I'm going to put very teeny weeny ones. And instead of them being each side, they're going to split off. So this is how you adapt to a piece of work for your own work. So here I'm using teeny dots. Now, what you could do is have a print of it so that you're able to do more work and keep an original. And sometimes what's really nice is that you keep it documented. Let me see that there. Keep it documented at every stage. You don't have to do every single pattern that's on the actual whatever you're looking at. You pick what you want. But I just love that general pattern it's got. I've got my felting rice bag somewhere, but I'm not getting it. And that's rice, so I can just sit it in like that and then look at it, but I haven't got it round here. So just going to add a few extras that aren't there, but you know, it's a bog off. Don't finish that yet. I'm already feeling totally chilled. And my alpha stim has been used constantly, especially during my civil service. So I don't want a proper edited video. This would go fast forward, or you'd sort of, you know, move on to the best bit. But I'm afraid mine are warts and all. So I have been drawing, as you well know, thousands of images, and I mean thousands. I've filled books and books and books with my images, and I've totally got back to watercolour, got back to my drawing, got back to all the things I'd forgotten. I was too busy doing it for others or commercial ideas. And you know, I've got loads of ideas now. Maybe not commercial, but things that I adore. Like I've got back to nature and animals and stuff, and I'm over the moon with what I've done. And the best thing is, I really don't care if others don't like it because it's not for them, it's for me. So we've got that. I won't let that happen. I'll I'll come and sort it out for you. So here I'm just going to put very spaced big dots. Ah, that just, it's like there's a piece of bone sticking out. Clicks awful. So we've got that. We've got that. Now we look at the patterns for the nipple things, and I like the idea of simple moon shapes. Now I should have split these up properly, but I didn't. I don't. So just like little lines like that, and then I'll show you. And then here, I'll do the opposite. Like that. So we've got like opposites there. Got another one here. So it's just, I mean, if you're unsure, put these on with a pencil. This by eye stuff, yeah, can't be doing that much now. It's getting terrible, my by eye. Right, so this side, there we go. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, oh, my eye went funny then. Go, not funny, I'm not moaning. Don't know, you see, that could be it, like that. And then the next one could be round. Oh, right. Yeah, I like that. Right, here we go. So we're going to go like that. Get it? So it's going to go like that and then like a Y. I suppose it's an easier, that's a way of forming, flower petals, isn't it? And you can really play around with them shapes now. So this one will be the opposite way. Sort of like a spiky diamond that way. Like that. So we've got two separate. Well, this is all pattern. It's all simple pattern. There's no right and wrong way of doing it. And then what we can do is see whether that fits nicely with just a line. So it's just the opposite way around, really. So we've got, excuse me. Okay, so here we'll have don't matter whether I'm going to change them because this is just the idea of where the spacing is. I found some old books the other day, and I was intrigued because it was. Oh, I didn't put another one on that. There we go. I was intrigued because it showed you Chinese fireworks and the patterns that they were going to create. And I thought, how did they know what it was going to create? Biscuits. It's got to be Martin, that, hasn't it? Oh, I've done that wrong. Who cares? But this on a piece of black plate paper. Can you imagine it? Wow. So you could have two white and one black, or two black and one white, whichever you prefer, and just have them on a set of three. There are smaller frames than this as well, and the smaller ones fit like that much. But you know, if you're a bit unsure about your artwork, this is where, if you just want a little bit showing, perfect. But because this is a sea urchin, you know, it all depends on where they live and what, you know, and all that stuff, don't it? All that malarkey. So, you know, the patterns, the shapes, they're all scientifically proven to be really set by where the you know, habitats. So we've got that pattern there. Really like this. It's quite beautiful pattern. Um, I really do like that. But I'm looking at it, I'm thinking it's a little bit lost. So I'm going to sharpen up some of these, I think. There we go, that looks better. And corresponding to the size as well. That's better. So now just putting in some little lines there, and I'm only going to do it on those innie ones. I gave my Derby ticket to my brother-in-law. He's visiting, so that he could experience it while he's here. So he got the best ticket ever, the Manchester Derby. Right, I've got these patterns now. I really like them. Yes, exactly like a plant cell, anything like that. Um, I like what I've done so far, and I'm thinking I just want to take it a little bit further, yeah. Um, and this pen will work, or one of my uni pens. Uh, You could shade if you wanted to, but those of you that aren't too sort of confident with shading yet, we're going to go in with a good old. Oh, hang on, I'm missing one here. What's this one? Is it? Is it? It's an outie in it. That's it. There we go. So I'm going to do this with pointillism, and pointillism is a series of dots um, that create depth, but really it's meant to create. It's mainly with color, so that it's the eye interprets the color and makes sense of it. So you don't look at it near, you look at it far, um, and then your eye does the rest and it's just an amazing concept. And it's pixels, and it's like pictures, and so close up, it really looks mad. But when you sort of see it in the way that it should be seen, it's actually quite, sometimes not on this, but sometimes it's breathtaking. It really is how the dot can be. And I've seen people who have gone from non-drawers and they've used that dotting pen, which is good. If you can afford one, that is a really nice idea. But they've done that, and suddenly they look like they've been drawing professionally for years. So it's a great confidence booster as well, pointillism. So all I'm doing is I'm adding dots to areas I want a bit of depth. And as the dots sort of fade out, they give the idea of it getting lighter. I hope you can see that. So the nearer they are, closer, that equals darker. The more space, the smaller depth. Like that. So like that. So you could just see it, and this gives us a better idea. Don't matter how you spell it. Good morning, Nova Scotia. Oh, it's brilliant. Thank you for being here. So I am just going to fill these gaps in here closer together, and then lighter. So only one or two. Alexa, off. So only one and two in those bits, but it corresponds with the other dots that we've drawn, big dots. But these will go inside those dots as well. And it's this has come about through that book on colour. Oh no, this is a class that I've done on colour, and it was a light bulb moment, and it was like, oh, I get it now. I get why colour, we can see it, and how we can see it, and why we see it, and what happens when we want to see it, we can't see it, and it's just light bulb, light bulb, and it just makes so much sense. So I've had a good way of explaining it. It's a bit like got all these molecules going like this, and they hit an object, and the object stays still for a bit. That's when we recognise colour. So the light hits it, stops it, we can see colour. Then all the colours that we don't want disappear into the ether, and the others stay still. And then that happens all the time. It's amazing, isn't it? I know that might not be your light bulb moment, but it was for me. I was like, oh, of course, of course. So as you can see, this is starting to get a bit more presence. And this is quite professional when you think, you can sell these, on the black market. No, I don't mean that. Oh, if you want to sell them on the black market, you can. But I was thinking more of Etsy. Unless you've got linked with mob and stuff. Right. So we've got all these patternings. Patternings don't even make sense. And I'm just going to do some pointillism points around about the nipple part. And even though we're not shading it, which you can do, this gives it a little bit more presence. So like that. So give them. See, we can't see that there. So by adding it there and then there, we'll get the same effect. I always remember seeing the kids being, oh, that pattern, miss, where's that from? And then you show them a leaf and they go, no, that's not right. How can that do? And it's teaching them to really look. And it was like, oh, wow, look at that pattern. And then I'd get loads back saying, Miss saw this pattern on holiday. And, parents saying, we had to stop every 10 minutes to take pictures. And I had to apologise. But once you start seeing the patterns and everything in life, it's like, stop. I want to take a picture. Stop. And even it might just be a colour, and you're like, stop, I've got to take a picture of this. It's like with the moodling. You go around, you say, oh, look, I can see a moodle everywhere. It's everywhere you go, there's a moodle, and you're like, wow. They were all there before. It's just our awareness it's been brought to, our attention. So I'm just going to put some more on there. Just be careful. I'm getting a bit happy here, and they're looking a bit cack-handed. So just be mindful not to sort of rush the end bit, because that spoils it. When you spent all this time doing this and suddenly you're like firing it off like a rocket, it's not good. And then any crappy bits you've got here, make them into a dot. If it looks a bit shabby, make it into a dot. It's like my idea of sticking a butterfly on it, only it's not as big as a butterfly. So I know that just this action of dot, 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 very, very mindful. But not is it just mindful? It isn't just mindful. It's also quite calming. It's very, very difficult, if not impossible, to create to go wrong, because it's a dot. It's insignificant as one. You know what I mean? It's a dot. Just gonna put some dark there. The only reason I'm doing that, I think it just needs a little bit more. See, that's pretty dark there, and maybe a bit more here. Oh, I've so enjoyed this today. So what I'm going to do is just to bring that square in, like I know the square's there. I'm going to do the pointillism on the actual line. Yeah, it was Pam, totally. And I'm happy to say that's the one thing that, it isn't just a profession teaching. It's a life. It's just a life. There's no other way of saying it. It's part of everything, because it's such a passion in it. I just remember you used to get some teachers who said, I hate kids. And what they really saying is they wanted to have perhaps more conversations, more, intellectual things. Well, that's when they should go to higher ed, and they've settled. I also remember we had a couple in our school, you had to call them doctor. And I was like, really? And I understand that when you've got a qualification, who you you know, Dr. Spock, you know what I mean? Who you know, it's like the kids know you're well educated, they know how clever you are, but really do you have to make out that you're so much better? I don't know. I think that's a lack of self esteem myself. But yeah, I always remember Doctor. I was like, what? Get out. And get a life. You know what I mean? So I'm rubbing out these lines now just to show you what this looks like. Thoroughly enjoyed that. And I've not only just thoroughly enjoyed it, I think I've done a really cool piece of work. This is really ropey, this frame, but don't worry, yours will be better. What you can do is when it gets really ropey like this, is just paint it. See, it's bent a bit there, but who cares? So what you can do now is add to it. I don't want to add any more. What I mean by that is, can you see there's no lines here? Because the rest of the form is making it up. I'm just going to go to the line though there. That's it. That's it. So I've actually made the line with pointillism, but there's actually no line there, believe it or not. It's just the closer the dots are, the more of a line. It looks really scabby like that, doesn't it? But it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to add a few around here. Like that. So, can you imagine if... Oh, it's... What's that? Can you imagine if we did that with black, which we are going to do, but then make it 3D? So here we go with this. We could put it in there if we wished. You know? In fact, let me just chop that off. So if you've got the right... Where's my knob gone for that? I've lost my knob off the end. Where's the handle gone? Oh, for God's sake. Okay, I think... Oh, I don't know. Let's take a look at more. Okay, let's have a quick do that. So this won't fit in there because it's a little bit small. But can you imagine? Yeah. So now what we'll do is we'll put a bit of jiggly poker there. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get rid of that line. That was just my outline for gauging this. It doesn't really matter when you're framing it because the picture will be in here sort of thing. So you won't see it unless you judge the sizes and everything in a different way. If it all fits within this square, then it, you know, if it's a flat colour at the background, it won't matter. If it's another one, it, you know your own way. And there we have it. Our finished piece of work. Now, if I wanted to, if I wanted to, I could continue the drawing off. Now, if you're going to do this, then gesso is your friend. because this is a shiny surface that I'll wipe off in a minute. But if you wanted to continue that, so what you could do is, this is like we're extending this now into another piece of artwork. We could take this off, so we could leave it off there and back onto there and off here, or we can continue on the side on all of them. So I look at some of the things that you've got on YouTube, Facebook, and all that, and the lessons that are getting charged for. And I'll be honest with you, these are as good as any paid for ones. And I think I'm very proud of that, because you're getting proper tuition, and I hope you feel the same. I'm just going to wipe that off because bit spit. You see what I mean about the permanent? Sorry, I hope you didn't see up my shirt then. But yeah, it is a good lesson. It's not just making a card, which is great, and that's what we need sometimes, but sometimes we need to be able to take it further. And I will make a card. This would make a great little card if I enlarged it even more. So if I was to get this, take that there, and just enlarge that little bit, how cool is that? Just a little bit, or take that to there, just and enlarge that. It looks so cool. So yeah, think about it. As a stamp, it would look great in the background or something, you know. And these are all things, you know, if I wanted to, I could put that in there and have it a real 3-dimensional one, which is what we're going to do later on. We're going to add to this so that we'll get a 3-dimensional piece in the middle. But that's for my Patreons. And if you want to be a Patreon, it's there flicking around at the bottom. And if you want to know, if you go to louwithers.com, oh, I can even remember it now, louwithers.com, you'll see that there's a link, and that link takes you, it's my link to all of it, it's my website, that hopefully that will take you to all the, you know, all the information and stuff that you need. So there we go. We've had in an hour, 1 hour's art lesson. We've produced this. And all it is, if I bring it up close, is a load of dots and splutterings and a few circles. It's amazing what you can do, isn't it? Really. And you don't need a degree to do it. You just need to be able to listen, follow, get confidence, and do it your way. So I'm going to love you and leave you. We're going to do some black work on Friday. So I've put a whole list of where you can find the stuff. And it's about the cheapest I can find it. And I've put them all on my page for you for the next live. And that'll be on Friday at 12. And then you'll be able to do the owl that we're going to do on Friday with some white pens in the same way. All right. Till then, I'm going to love you and leave you, and a big thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bye.